Here are 10 add-ons that you can immediately start doing in your commercial cleaning business right now to make more money and take more profit home out of your cleaning business. Hey, I'm Matt, your 7-figure commercial cleaning CEO, and before we dive into this list, just know this. Number 5 is going to be really, really effective for medical facilities, and then 8 through 10 are often ones that most people forget that they can start doing right now inside of their business without any cost hardly at all and immediately start making more money. So without making you wait too long, let's jump into number 1, and it's going to be one that we are all familiar with. It's going to be carpet cleaning. Now, at a glance, carpet cleaning might seem very straightforward and easy to do, and it really is, but we can be strategic financially about how we go about this. So there's a few different things we need to consider. First, you don't have to get one of these $40,000 truck mounted machines or even a $4,000 roll machine to roll into these offices. You can, and you can charge big money for doing carpet cleaning like that. But you can also do 2 different other types of carpet cleaning services. You can do spot cleaning, which is you can upsell your clients on every once in a while your team going through, removing coffee stains, gum, and things that are really stuck in into the carpet. They can use manual tools and some chemicals to do that. That's a very, very effective upsell that you can offer your clients. The other upsell that you can do is you can bring in something lighter grade, like a rug doctor. Now, is that as professional as one of those $40,000 truck mounted units? No, it's not, but it is a fantastic low cost tool that you can still charge a lot of money to do jobs with, to just run through the facility every other week, once a month, once a quarter, whatever it is. It's not going to do as deep of a job as those heavy duty, high steam machines, but it is going to be something that helps the carpets last longer and be maintained better, and even add a nice scent to the facility anytime that it's done. And just so you know, I had a franchisee who just went and got a rug doctor, and they have made thousands upon thousands of dollars within just a matter of just a couple hours of work with a little rug doctor. And so then beyond the spot cleaning and the lighter grade carpet cleaning, you do have your standard heavy duty carpet cleaning that's using hot water or even dry carpet cleaning. Now, you've got to go with what your research says for the carpet type that you want to do, but be the expert to your client. This is something that you can make a lot more money with and offer more value to them with. And if you're wondering about how much money you can charge to do carpet cleaning on top of your janitorial services, I like to start with how long does it take for my crew or my staff to do the job. So when you are looking at standard carpet cleaning like the heavy duty kind or even lighter grade kind, you're typically going to be experiencing about 500 square feet per hour that can be cleaned. And also, because it's a specialty service, you can charge a much higher hourly rate. You could be looking at charging anywhere from 2 to 4 times whatever you're charging per hour for your janitorial services. So carpet cleaning in and of itself, we all know about it, but those are a few options you may have not considered within it on how to implement it for your clients and make more money right now. Number 2, this is like the carpet cleaning of hard floors. I'm sure you're familiar with it if you've been in janitorial for any amount of time, but it is going to be strip and wax or buffing. It's going to be polished floor care. So you take these floors that are VCT or any sort of floor that has wax on top of it, and you can make that wax look new again and help the floor bring that awesome shine to it and impress your clients. The important thing to know if you're doing a strip and wax, not the buffing service, which is like a surface polish, but if you're going to totally reset the floor by taking the wax off and reapplying the wax, the cost depends on how many layers you're going to be adding back to the floor. In most cases, it is standard for 3 layers of wax to be reapplied to a floor after it has been all stripped up and the floor been cleaned. But in other cases, some companies like to apply up to 6 layers of wax. So do the research on the floor that you're going to work on and decide how many layers of wax that it would need applied. The key note here too is that strip and wax takes a lot more time than carpet cleaning. Remember how carpet cleaning, we could do about 500 square feet per hour with that? Well, with strip and wax, you're probably looking at about 100 to 250 square feet per hour. But also, just like carpet cleaning, you can charge 2 to 4 times the hourly rate that you're doing for your janitorial service. Many commercial cleaning companies like to charge by the square footage. They're going to be anywhere from 50 cents per square foot to a whole $1.50 per square foot. Again, that depends on what market you're in, how expensive the labor is, where you're at, and the cost of materials. be sure to do your research. And you may have heard me mention about buffing. Buffing is a much easier task to do than totally stripping the floor and removing all that wax. Buffing is essentially polishing the surface. They might be adding a slight thin layer of wax and then using a high-speed buffer or burnishing machine to polish it up and to melt it in to make it look really good. But it's not going to be a foolproof thing. In the long run, you eventually do need to reset that floor completely. And your customer is someone who can come to you to get that job done. But those buffing procedures can be done on a monthly basis. It's much easier to do those. It doesn't take nearly as long, and you can continue to charge more money to your clients for doing it. For buffing, you're looking at about 1,000 square feet per hour, and then maybe around 2 to 3 times your hourly wage that is normal for your janitorial cleaning company. And now number 3 is also going to deal with a specific floor type, but this one is getting more and more popular as time continues to go on. Over here on the East Coast, at least at the time of filming this video, over the past 5 years that I've had my commercial cleaning business, more and more of our facilities and more that we're getting into are taking out their carpet, taking out their VCT that has the wax on it, and they're putting in LVT, which is luxury vinyl tile. It's that type of floor that looks like wood, but it's a fake wood. It just continues to grow in popularity. But the thing with it is it has all these little divots in it and all these little cracks inside because it's trying to mimic that wood look. So yes, we can go through and do the sweeping and light mopping to help take care of it, but especially in these high traffic facilities, all of that dirt, debris, and grime is getting crammed more and more into those little cracks and crevices. So what does LVT need? It needs a deep clean. You can do these deep cleanings with a GLS system, with a standard floor machine, or even with scrub brushes as you go through. There's all kinds of different procedures. Be sure to check the manufacturer's recommendations on how to deep clean this LVT that's in the specific facilities that you may have. But you can charge a lot of money to deep clean the LVT. You're looking at something between strip and wax and carpet cleaning. Now, the more often that these deep cleans happen for LVT, the faster the jobs go. So if your client wants you to be in there monthly as opposed to yearly, then each of those monthly projects are not going to cost nearly as much per square foot or take as much time to complete as opposed to a once a year big hit. So keep that in mind when it does come to LVT getting moved into your facilities if that's happening in your area. Number 4 is also going to help our clients look extremely professional and give that nice impression whenever their clients or patrons come into their facility. It's going to be window cleaning. But here's the thing with window cleaning, you've got 2 different routes to go with this, and you can do them all if you want to. And the first route is you can do more of an on-demand service with them. You can upsell them on adding that professional shine to their facility by every once in a while, maybe it's once a year, a couple times a year, doing a big reset to all of the windows in their facility. The other route that you can go with this is you can do a recurring service, a very frequent recurring service on their high use glass. So this would be their entryways. And your staff may take care of the inside and take care of any smudges they can see at night, but it really does not compare to using a full window mop and a full squeegee to take care of all of the glass and then all the frame edges, get rid of the cobwebs, and make it look extremely professional. So these recurring entryway subscription services for window cleaning can be done on a daily basis, a weekly basis, multi-weekly, or it can even be done on a monthly basis. And for all these window cleaning projects, you're looking at being able to charge, once again, about 2 to 4 times per hour for what it's going to take to get the job done. Number 5, and this is the one that I was talking about that's really going to appeal to medical facilities, and this is what is called touch point disinfection. This is something that is typically almost always done in outpatient surgery centers or ambulatory centers, but you can also do this in just about any other doctor's office, and you can even do this in any facility, just about anywhere, but it's going to appeal mostly to medical because of their vulnerable patients who need protected from any sort of biological cross-contamination that might happen in their facility. Now, the unique thing about touch point disinfection compared to what we've talked about so far is that touch point disinfection is extremely low cost for you to actually implement. All that it takes is some microfiber towels and some disinfectant and just a second to hit each spot that might need disinfected. But even though the cost is so low, the perceived value is so high because it's such an important task inside of a medical facility. If you're wanting to win more medical facilities, then touchpoint disinfection is something you want to include in your marketing materials and in your sales process and in your offer. You can have a standard cleaning option, then you can have a standard cleaning option plus touchpoint disinfection. As far as what you want to charge for touchpoint disinfection, that is really up to you because the cost is so minimal. And here's a really quick procedure of actually implementing touchpoint disinfection inside of one of your facilities to make some more money with them. What you want to do is make sure that you honor the dwell times. Your staff, whenever they spray a surface, need to spray it and walk away. They cannot use any sort of towel to immediately wipe it off. If you read the bottle of the disinfectant that you're using, it's going to say, let sit for 2 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever it is. You have to be sure that your staff honor that. So they need to spray the surface and then walk on to the next one that they're going to take care of. Then when they loop back after the time that's been given, they need to wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. Once they wipe it down with a microfiber cloth, it's a good idea to have that surface rinsed a little bit because there could be some stickiness that happened because of the sitting disinfectant on there. So be sure to have them spray it with a little bit of water and they can immediately rinse that off by just cleaning it off with the towel. This way, the surfaces have had a microfiber unit go over it twice. They've been disinfected and rinsed. So that's touchpoint disinfection. The next one is going to be much more of a seasonal opportunity that you can seize every single year, and that is spring cleaning. Almost every facility knows what spring cleaning is, and almost every facility would like it to happen in theirs. This is something that you can charge a lot of money for, and it helps you keep your clients longer because you're offering that reset to their facility to make it look as new as you can reasonably make it look again. So if your commercial cleaning company does not do spring cleaning, I would highly consider starting to offer it and advertise it to your clients. Number 7, this is going to be pressure washing. And we have 3 main things that we can do with pressure washing, with the first 2 that I recommend the most. The first one's going to be parking lots. Clients love a clean parking lot. It makes them look good to whoever's using their facility. So be sure to offer what it would cost for them to do parking lot cleaning via your pressure washing services. And number 2 is one of my favorites, and that is because it is so easy to implement. It is the wheel. If you've ever seen one of those pressure washing wheels, using the wheel on sidewalks is fantastic. And being sure that it's calibrated right is very important, but you're not having to worry as much about anyone getting too close and damaging things. It's concrete, and it's got the wheel that controls all of it. So all that your staff do is plug it up, make sure they have water, turn it on, and they just go. It pays plenty of money, and it doesn't take hardly any training at all for your staff to actually do it because the wheel controls a lot of the output quality. The third one that you can consider doing is the actual siding of the facilities. It depends on what type of siding it is. So this is where you do have to get a little bit more expertise on the pressure washing procedure for a specific facility. And because of that, you have to work with your staff a little bit more on training, and that's ultimately something that you want to make that call for yourself. For me personally, I like to stick with number 1 and number 2. And now on to 8 through 10 here that oftentimes get completely overlooked, and they're so easy to do, but also after these, I do have a bonus one. So number 8 is light bulb changing. The beautiful thing with light bulb changing is that you can charge per light bulb instead of just per hour to go in and do these services. You can say it's going to be $5, $10, $20 to change a light bulb. You do have to be careful and make sure you obey OSHA's ladder rules and regulations so that your employees are safe when doing it and that they're safe on how they dispose of the light bulbs. And along the same lines as changing out light bulbs is intake filter replacement. These intake filters directly affect how dirty a facility becomes and how fast. If the filters are going bad and they haven't been changed in a long time, then it seems like their place is constantly dusty. But a properly maintained filter system really reduces the workload on your staff. Plus, you get to charge more money for actually changing out the filters. Again, you can either add this in as a benefit or as a monthly cost or as a per filter change charge. And number 10, which is one of the easiest ones to implement, is actually security services. Now, we're not talking about having someone there who's wearing body armor and that's strapped with a weapon or anything like that, but a lot of times high-profile facilities just like to have someone on site whenever they are not there. That way someone's there from when they close to when they open. They want someone who's just patrolling around. So if you're going to be cleaning the facility anyways, what would it cost, or what could you charge to just have someone from your staff be there through a whole third shift and be there all night? Not only this, but you can have that shared amongst multiple clients. So if you have multiple smaller facilities that don't really need someone there the entire night, but you want to perform nighttime checks throughout the night before they arrive the next morning, then you can have a staff member or several that check on buildings, and it's an extra service that you upcharge your clients for. So light grade security services can actually be quite lucrative whenever you get into it. And here we are with the bonus. It's going to be tile and grout cleaning. Whenever you do a deep clean or a reset clean on tile and grout, and it's done properly, it provides an incredible before and after experience for your client. It can make restrooms shine, or any space shine that has tile and grout in it. This specific service is a fantastic opportunity for social media photos, for testimonials, for reviews, because it's such a vivid difference whenever it's done. You do have to be sure to use the proper equipment, the proper chemicals, and follow the proper procedures when you do it. But if you take the time to learn that and actually implement it for your clients, it is an incredible impression to make on them. Look, if you want to take your commercial cleaning company to $100,000 per month and beyond, go watch this video where I break that down so that you can continue growing your commercial cleaning business, get more and more commercial cleaning contracts, and making your way to becoming a janitorial millionaire. See you there.